Hey, so my name's Stuart Wood from Bits of History. Um, this is like a new idea that I have, which I did have had for a while. Didn't bother telling Luke about it yesterday because I completely forgot, but he's gonna have to get involved with this as well. Just give me 1 second. Push the video away so you get all of me. Yeah, not too bad. After that piece of vanity, I've got work in a little while, so I need to wrap this up pretty quick. But basically, the podcast is still underway. I actually have the intro episode, recorded onto the Chromebook. Just need to convert it into MP3 and then upload it for you. So that is coming. Hopefully, I should be able to do that Friday because I've got a spare moment. But today, with these videos, what I had intentions with or for was to basically take a random person from history and just tell you a very short little bit about their life. So um, that way it's just another way to reach you, and also you get to see us doing our thing as well. Obviously it's always unscripted, so you don't really quite know what you're going to get. But today we're going to talk about Alexander the Great. uh, it was the first person that I did a status about on the Bits of History Facebook page, so I feel it's quite fitting to do one about him now. What we're going to talk about specifically is one of his little episodes that happened before he became the Great, um, at a certain wedding between his father and another woman that he didn't give a fuck about. So basically, for a little bit of background, Philip II of Macedon, he conquers Greece, right? He conquers most of it. I think it's just Sparta, because Sparta does what Sparta does, which is basically not let anyone, you know, or just not work with anyone. That's kind of what Sparta does. You've seen the film 300. But basically, Philip's quite content to leave them anyway, and he so he takes up his seat in Greece and gets with a woman named Cleopatra Erid was it Eridice? I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. Basically, Cleopatra is the daughter of his general and best friend, Attalus. Yeah, so basically, this is like his fifth or sixth wife as well, by the way. Like, Attalus is one of his best friends, and he's kind of like, I'll let you get with my niece. You're gonna have to marry her because I don't feel comfortable with you just poking members of my family and fucking off again. So Philip's kind of like, alright, I guess I'm going to have to marry her. It's not like this is anything new to me. Alex, though, Alexander the Great, not quite the Great yet, actually, because this is before he becomes pretty great. But he's kind of a little bit threatened by it because Cleopatra and his father, Philip, are both from Macedonia, whereas his mother isn't. So this would be a legitimate heir to the throne if they were to have a child. And that would, obviously, Alexander wants to take over his father's legacy. So at the marriage, Philip II, Cleopatra's sitting there, and Attalus ends up saying, he's drunk, talking shit, going, forgets that Alexander's sitting there as well, or maybe does it on purpose, I don't know. But he's kind of like, oh yeah, that's to the gods, may the gods give you, a legitimate heir to the throne, may they give you a son, Philip, yeah, that'd be cool, right? Alexander's like, I see what you're doing there, Atlas. Yeah, I don't really appreciate it. Plutarch says, he calls him a villain. So he says, you villain, what am I then, a bastard? I like to think he gets up, and Plutarch does also record this moment as well, throwing a cup at the head of Atlas. Literally just dashes at him. But I like to think that, Alexander sits there, silence, everyone's looking around, kind of thing, like, ooh, fuck. Yeah, might have pissed his son off there, Atlas. And he sits there and he's like, it's cool, I'm cool, don't worry. Gets up, downs the last bit of his wine. He's like, yeah, that's a good bit of wine. And it just dashes the cup at his head, like. Atlas is there, like, blood coming from his nose. Philip II is kind of like, you can't call my friend a bastard and dash a cup at his head. Like, I'm not having that. So he gets up and draws his sword, because everyone in ancient times were sitting around at dinner parties still with shields, spears and swords on them. And he wants to run it through Alexander, but like, he's so drunk, he just falls over. Essentially, just slips out of his chair. I imagine in his mind he had this graceful movement where he kind of got up, like rose like a swan, drew a sword and stabbed it through his son. What actually happened was he kind of went through his sword, fell off out of his chair, hit the ground. Alexander's like, look at this man, this is my dad, the king of Macedonia. What a wanker, right? What Plutarch records him as saying, see there, the man who makes preparations to pass from Europe into Asia, overturned in passing from one seat to another. Which is basically like him saying, look at this dick, right? He wants to fight his way all the way from Europe to Asia. The guy can't fight his way out of a fucking chair and kill his own son, who's standing like pretty much opposite him. Look at him, he's on the floor, like doing that thing in Family Guy where Peter's like, he's doing that on the floor. So Alexander's like, yeah, bollocks to this, I'm out of here, fuck you Philip, I'm gone, see you later. Takes his mother out. And that's pretty much it, right, really, for this. I'm not really going to go into much more detail. Philip dies. I'll do an episode about Philip II, because he is actually quite a cool guy. This is just his, like, moment of weakness, which Alexander just really latches onto. But Philip dies, Alexander becomes heir, we get Alexander the Great. Everyone's happy, the world of history, everyone's happy. So, that's going to sum that one up. Gives you a little taste of the type of man Alexander the Great was and where he came from. I am going to let Luke know about this idea, which I forgot to tell him yesterday, and I'm pretty sure we're going to use this medium to educate you and hopefully entertain you, but also to insult each other a bit. So you might have to put up with things like me calling him something. I'm not going to start it. I'm going to wait for Luke to start it. But when Luke does, just it probably will be a chain of events. But so yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video anyway, and I shall see you soon. The podcast episode will be uploaded very soon. I'll do another one of these the minute I get the chance. Hopefully next time you'll see Luke or you'll see me again. It's up to him really. So yeah, take care.